I had my own IT business, but at a certain stage of my life I understood that it did not make me happy. Routine office work, it did not give me pleasure, so I decided to sell it and move forward. Somehow I saw a photo of beautiful Japanese koi carp on the internet and got a burning desire to breed them. I wanted to have my own house and a pond where these fish would swim.
Я зразу загорівся, я хочу мати свій будинок і мати ставок, де будуть плавати ці риби.
Ukrainians traditionally consume more meat than fish. According to statistics, our fellow citizens eat 60 kg of meat and 12 kg of fish a year. And in Japan, where our today's heroes come from, every Japanese consumes more than 60 kg per year. Farmers grow not only products that you can eat, but also fish that you can just admire.
І ту, котрою можна просто насолоджуватись. Тобто цю рибу ми просто... Вау! Ми випускаємо...
We release this fish into decorative ponds and enjoy it, feed it and take care of it and treat it, and it brings us joy.
І це приносить свою насолоду.
Today it is a very expensive pleasure to eat such fish, because the price can reach thousands of dollars. But earlier on, the Japanese bred carp for food. Expensive freshwater fish were eaten only by aristocrats, and peasants had to eat only fish caught in the sea. The first decorative carp were bred in the mountain province of Niigata. It happened about 200 years ago, when a fish with a mutation, a red spot on the cheeks, appeared among ordinary black carp. Koi carp can be yellow, red, white and blue. The name of the breed depends on the combination of these colors. There are monochromatic koi carp. There are multicolored breeds of carp. Now you see the Harivake, Kohaku and Sanke breeds. Koi carp or brocade carp, in English it is called fancy carp or multicolored carp. Koi carp was brought to Ukraine in the 1990s. It appeared in the 50s in Europe. It is bred at small specialized farms. Now it inhabits ponds throughout Europe, South and North America. The word koi is translated from Japanese as freshwater fish. In general, it is correct to call the fish brocade koi. The name originates from the word brocade, which means colorful. In China, the carp is called a water pig. It eats absolutely everything. This fish is a cannibal. It can eat even its smaller brethren.
В цьому басейні у нас знаходиться японський короб кої.
We have koi carp in this pool. This is a decorative species of wild carp. Its domesticated form. It is about 2 years old and weighs about 2 to 2.5 kilograms. There are a lot of different breeds today. Now I will show you what this fish looks like. It is not so easy to catch these koi. The water is warm and they are very active, but as they say, talk of the devil and he will appear. You see, we use a special hold so as not to hurt the fish. This breed is called Yamato Nishiki. As you can see, this fish does not have scales. It can have completely different colors. This is a young male. It will progeny in the second year of life.
Молодий самець.
Лідери в вирощуванні кої – це все ж таки Японія.
Japan and China are still the leaders in terms of koi breeding.
Відносяться до них з такою теплотою.
They like this beautiful fish.
Вирощувати його не складно.
It is not difficult to breed koi. It can be bred both in a pond, in the recirculation system and in cage fisheries.
Також я знаю, що почали вирощувати і в садкових господарствах. Тобто він не вибагливий, він наш об'єкт.
It is adapted to Ukrainian weather conditions, and it is great.
Супер.
коли я
When I investigated the topic of breeding these fish in our conditions, I saw that it wasn't bred in Ukraine at all.
то зіштовхнувся з тим, що взагалі не було риби. Тобто та риба, котра була...
And if koi are bred, then they're not real. They were more like mutants, whose breed was difficult to define.
були поганої якості, так навіть не можна було визначити породу. Ну і тому
I created a site and began to translate information about these fish. I got to know how to build a pond, etc.
як породи основні.
These generated keen interest in me.
Нашою мовою дати людям інформацію, перекладав і
I realized that I liked it, that this was for me. It made me happy.
там зробив, дивлюсь, відчуваю себе щасливим, я допомагаю іншим людям, задовольняю їхні потреби. І ще й
And I began to import fish, equipment, and then I began to produce equipment here in Ukraine.
обладнання тут уже в Україні.
At the present time, people consume more aquaculture farm fish products than wild fish. My company's main activity is industrial cultivation of fish, the building of farms, projects, supply feed, and the necessary equipment. We're also involved in decorative fish farming and grow aquatic plants.
Обладнання необхідного. Також ми займаємося декоративним рибництвом і вирощуємо водяні рослини. Дуже багато людей приходять і питають,
When people see such a big fish, they ask the question, is this fish edible?
питання, чи можна цю рибу їсти. Я відповідаю,
I answer, it's just a colored view of the carp. So if you want, of course, you can eat it.
насправді це просто кольорова форма коропа. Так само можна, якщо є бажання їсти таку рибу, то це можна його
But this fish is very valuable, and the cost of one small fish starts from 400 hryvnias, while large specimens can cost $25,000 to $30,000.
400-500 гривень, великі екземпляри можуть досягати реально 25-30 тисяч доларів. Недавно була продана риба.
And recently, a fish was sold for more than $1 million.
Три породи, котрі там дуже цінні, це кохаку,
There are three very valuable breeds: Kohaku, red with white; Sanke, red with white and black; and Shova, black with white and red.
Є така легенда про коропа.
There is such a legend about a carp called Hanako. They say it lived 226 years. Carp live for a very long time and do not die a natural death, but from diseases or predators. Carp can live 30 to 50 years in captivity.
Довго живуть, і вони насправді помирають не своєю смертю, а просто від того, що за ними неправильно турбуються, або від хижаків, або від хворіб. Тобто в умовах неволі може легко 30, 40, 50 років він жити. Дуже важливо створити для цих...
It's very important to create the suitable conditions for such fish. There should be a pond, a special water purification system, filtration, aeration, UV treatment.
Обробка ультрафіолетовими проміннями. Там, де вони виросли, в горах Ніігати,
Where they lived originally, in the mountains of Japan, the climate is almost the same as ours. But carp is thermophilic fish. The normal temperature for it is above 10 degrees. If the temperature is lower, they stop eating and simply hibernate, saving their strength. In winter, it is better to keep them in a greenhouse, and in summer, it can be released into a pond.
Стараємося тримати їх в ставках, тому що
In ponds, they can eat natural food, midges, small animals, toads. This food affects the quality of their scales and the color.
Пуголовки, жабки, тобто все, що це природній корм, який впливає на якість їхньої шкіри, і це впливає відповідно на їхній колір. Та риба, котра
That fish, which is grown in a greenhouse in concrete reservoirs, is not so bright as it receives food from ordinary feed.
Харчування отримує із корма. Ми вже 5-й рік.
We have been feeding our fish with Ukrainian-made feed for the 5th year in a row.
Котрі виробляються із наших українських компонентів.
The feed is made from Ukrainian domestic components. The basis of feed for carp is the grain group, fish and meat and bone meal, trace elements.
І мікроелементи.
My fish feel great eating this food.
Ось в цьому
We breed shrimp in this pool.
багато з вас
People who see this water for the first time think that it is very dirty.
дуже брудна. Насправді,
But in fact, we use special technology to grow shrimp.
біофлокуляції. І те, що ви бачите,
What you see is such particles, small flakes that process all the waste products.
бактерії, і котрі перероблюють всі продукти з життєдіяльності. І для того, щоб вимірювати
An Imhoff cone is used to measure the amount of these flakes.
Це такий конус Імгофа. От. І
You see, we know where the water is clean. All the flakes have settled.
вода чиста, а от уже ці пластівці, вони всі осіли. Та? От
I'll draw some water now for comparison so you can see what kind of water it really is.
вода насправді. О, тобто вода як
See water as stewed fruit, unclarified apple juice.
неосвітлений сік яблучний. Але це все осідає, і ми вже бачимо
We measure the amount of these flakes every day.
Цих пластівців.
You need to be continually making sure that the permitted parameters are not exceeded.
Не перевищував допустимі параметри.
Короб кої, він менш такий вибагливий до якості води, до температурного режиму. То коли ми
Koi carp is less demanding about the quality of water and temperature conditions. And shrimp are thermophilic, which is a big problem for Ukrainian aquaculture.
Є великою проблемою насамперед для української, скажімо, аквакультури, враховуючи те, що
It is of course more difficult to breed shrimp. Shrimps come from tropical countries, and in nature they live at a temperature of 17 to 34 degrees Celsius.
температурний режим в природних умовах креветок складає від 17 до 34 градусів Цельсія, а оптимальна температура, за якою там, скажімо так, їх розвивають,
On farms, they're bred at 28 to 30.
30 градусів Цельсія. В Україні таких, на жаль, термальних умов
In Ukraine, there are no such thermal conditions, so shrimp need a closed recirculation system with heated water.
вирощування креветок необхідні закрита система, рециркуляційна система з підігрівом води. Взагалі-то, якщо ми говоримо
If we talk about the shrimp market in Ukraine, it is still the imported frozen shrimp coming in from Asian countries: Malaysia, India, China, Ecuador.
країн Азії та Латинської Америки, зокрема, це Малайзія, це Індія, це Китай, Еквадор.
Креветка ванамей.
This is white-leg shrimp, also known as Pacific white shrimp.
Вид креветки.
This is the only type of domesticated shrimp. It is bred the most in the world. They grow very quickly.
В світі, да. В принципі, за 4
In 4 months, they reach a marketable weight and they can already be eaten.
і вже можуть бути продані, да. Тобто вже можна їх споживати. Чому це?
You can start catching them as early as the 19th day, and the shrimp's weight will be 15 to 17 grams.
Культурі. В принципі, вже з 90 днів їх можна частково виловлювати. Це креветка десь буде 15-17 грам. 120 днів – це вже велика креветка, да? Тобто креветка отака вона виходить, от вона. Це десь 25
On the 120th day, it is about 25 grams, big and tasty.
креветка. Галузь
The aquaculture industry has great prospects in Ukraine.
перспективи в Україні. Це високо
This is a highly profitable business. The market is ready.
конкуренції практично немає. Ринок, в принципі, готовий. У нас є всі
We have every opportunity to ensure 100% domestic consumption of our Ukrainian products.
можливості нашою українською продукцією. Коли я жив в місті,
When I lived in the city in an apartment, I was confused because I could not prove myself as a man. I did not have the opportunity to see what I am defending, my territory.
що я захищаю, бачити свою територію. От. І при те, що я виріс сам
I grew up in a village. I know what land is.
земля. І при першій можливості
At the first opportunity, I built a house and fled from the big city.
з великого міста, я сам із роду.
After all, land gives energy, inspiration, a desire to live, create, grow. You live in natural cycles from summer to autumn.
Далі творити, вирощувати. Ти живеш практично якимись такими природніми циклами, та? Тобто від літа до осені, зима, трошки менше роботи, далі весна, і ти знову, тобто у тебе якісь нові
In spring, you have new expectations, experiences. It all makes you happy.
Це робить тебе щасливим. Ну так, земля – це фундамент твого щастя.
Land is the foundation of your happiness. Each person needs a piece of land to look after and be happy.
Вирощувати свої власні овочі, продукти і бути щасливим.